listen so that he comes here to bomb my country. My 8-year-old daughter was killed, and my 3-year-old son. Nixon, murderer of civilians. What have I done to Nixon so that he comes here to bomb my country? My daughter died right here. She was feeding the pigs. She was so sweet. She is dead. The pigs are alive.
Certainly, to me, the day that you can say that a sacrifice such as that is not worthwhile is the day that you've destroyed all your real values of what is worthwhile and what isn't. And there's no question in my mind that he and everybody else that did what he did, there is no sacrifice that is in vain, absolutely none. That down the line, that's the price that you pay for freedom, and that's the price that you pay for the kind of stature that we have, and it's the kind of risk you take to preserve the ideals that we have. It's the price that you pay for the kind of stature that we have, and it's the kind of risk you take to preserve the ideals that we have.
They said that if we were innocent, they would beat us until we were guilty, and that if we were guilty, they would beat us until we repent.
It's the price that you pay for the kind of stature that we have, and it's the kind of risk you take to preserve the ideals that we have.
For 20 years, first the French and then the United States had been predicting victory in Vietnam. In 1961 and in 1962, as well as 1966 and 1967, we have been told that the tide is turning. There is a light at the end of the tunnel. We can soon bring our troops home. Victory is near. The enemy is tiring. But for 20 years, we have been wrong. The history of conflict among nations does not record another such lengthy and consistent chronicle of error as we have shown in Vietnam.
From my own view, I thought through as best I could the meaning of Southeast Asia, the United States in the 1950s, looking backward and looking forward in terms of what I know about the dynamics of societies and so on. And on balance, it is an on-balance judgment. I came to the judgment that it's a vital interest of the United States. I've never had any reason to change that judgment. And therefore, I do believe that what we have done is generally right, although I would have preferred to have seen a different, more decisive military strategy.
Down this road for so many years, and I had felt so strongly before that this was the right policy, that it was difficult for me to change. I know now that the domino theory was a false theory. I know now that we should not have become involved. As far as I'm concerned today, I have no hesitancy whatsoever in saying I could not have been more wrong in my attitude toward Vietnam.
Truman lied from 1950 on the nature and purposes of the French involvement, the colonial reconquest of Vietnam that we were financing and encouraging. Eisenhower lied about the reasons for and the nature of our involvement with Diem, and the fact that he was in power essentially because of American support and American money and for no other reason. Kennedy lied about the type of involvement we were doing there, our own combat involvement, and about the recommendations that were being made to him for greater involvement. President Kennedy lied about the degree of our participation in the overthrow of Diem. Johnson, of course, lied and lied and lied about our provocations against the North Vietnamese prior to and after the Tonkin Gulf incidents, about the plans for bombing North Vietnam, and the nature of the buildup of American troops in Vietnam. Nixon, as we now know, misled and lied to the American public for the first months of his office in terms of our bombing of Cambodia and of Laos, ground operations in Laos. The reasons for our invasion of Cambodia and of Laos, and the prospects for the mining of Haiphong that finally came about in 1972, but was envisioned as early as 1969. The American public was lied to month by each of these 5 administrations. As I say, it's a tribute to the American public that their leaders perceived that they had to be lied to. It's no tribute to us that it was so easy to fool the public.
It's no tribute to us that it was so easy to fool the public.